Good evening. Pursuant to Section 5, Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, this is to state for the record that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by posting and maintaining the annual notice of the regular meetings on the bulletin board in the municipal building, and by providing a copy of the annual notice of the regular meetings for the year 2015 to the Glen Ridge Paper, the Glen Ridge Voice, the Montclair Times, and to the Star Ledger. And we did this on Wednesday, January 7, 2015. And we filed said notice in the office of the municipal clerk. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilperson Lefkowitz.
Here.
Kusovich.
He's absent. Here.
Dawson. Murphy.
Here.
Morrow. Here. Mayor Hughes is present. Mayor, you have quorum.
Thank you very much. Could I get a motion, please, to approve the minutes of our last meeting, which was on August 10th?
So moved.
Thank you. Second. Thank you, David. Anybody got any comments or questions on the minutes? Seeing none, will the clerk call the roll?
Councilperson Lefkowitz.
Aye.
Patrick.
Aye.
Murphy.
Abstain.
Morrow. Aye. 2 ayes, 1 abstention, no nays. The motion is
No,
carried.
it was 3 ayes. It was 3 ayes.
3 ayes, sorry.
3 ayes, yeah, that's okay.
3 ayes.
Tara, were there any written communications?
Mr. Mayor, I'll just run through the communications we received. The first communication is from Municipal Judge Mark Clement,
Right.
ordering the reappointment of Denise Ainola as the acting municipal clerk.
Right.
That's been filed with us, as well as with its reporting at the Municipal Court Administration.
Okay.
Second communication is from the Township of Belleville. They propose redevelopment around Mill Street and Franklin Avenue as part of that redevelopment. They're seeking to construct a bridge, which would be in the floodway area. They filed an application with the DEP, and we received notice of that application.
Okay.
Our next communication is from PSE&G, just a public notice regarding basic generation service bulk bidding that goes out, helps establish the rates from their generation end, sets that price, and this process that goes to the DPU, and that's just a notice of that hearing. From Joe DiVincenzo at the Essex County, several events are coming up. The 10th Annual Senior Wellness Day, which is Tuesday, September 29th at the Cody Arena. Again, Senior Wellness Day is Tuesday, September 29th at the Cody Arena between 10 and 2. Second, which is a big one actually in Glen Ridge, the Essex County Household Hazardous Waste Collection Day. This is the drop-off day at the Environmental Center where you can take things such as oil-based paint, landscaping chemicals you may have that you want to get rid of that are in your house. This is actually going to be at 125 Fairview Avenue in Cedar Grove. It's next to the old hospital center.
Yeah.
So they shifted it up a location. Again, this is at Essex County Household Hazardous Waste Day, October 3rd, between 8:30 and 4. We'll broadcast that as well because this is an event most of our residents are interested in.
Okay.
And lastly, from Essex County, the Essex County Computer and Electronics Recycling Day, which is October 17th between 9 and 3 at that same location. However, most of our residents know we have that once a month at our public works yard as a drop-off. And additionally, on Wednesdays throughout the borough by appointment, we'll come pick up a large television or any other electronic device you want to get rid of. We'll come pick that up curbside if you call prior to that Wednesday. And the last communication we have is from the Department of Community Affairs, from Charles Richmond, Commissioner, stating they're in receipt of the local designation of the area in need of redevelopment. This is in regards to the Mountainside Hospital area.
Right.
We have to file that designation with the state, and this is acknowledging their receipt of that designation from us. And that concludes the communications.
Okay, great. Thanks, Mike. I only have one comment tonight. I'd like to wish Councilman Dan Murphy a happy birthday. This is his birthday. Thank you for spending your birthday evening with us tonight. We'll try and make it a celebration.
Every year, hopefully it'll fall on my birthday.
There you go. And Essex County is having a senior wellness day.
Now that I'm 60 years old, I'll take full advantage
got it. Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you, Dan. I have no other comments. Let's see. Comments of the public. Is there anyone here who would like to address the mayor or council? I see two. Please, come on up. Give us your name. Tell us why you're here.
Hi, my name is Deborah Dine, and I'm here again on behalf of the residents of Laurel Place in regards to having the west end of Laurel Place turned into a cul-de-sac. As per the last meeting, I was wondering if you had appointed a traffic study engineer.
I think we said that was going to be part of the hospital redevelopment plan, that the traffic study was, at our request, enlarged to make sure that it included Laurel Place and other streets that we feel would be affected by that. And to my knowledge, that, you know, this is a process that's ongoing, but we have not to date, to my knowledge, picked an engineer who is going to do that study. Is that correct?
Correct. The Montclair and Glen Ridge set out an RFP for the area in need of redevelopment plan for that hospital area. A traffic study inclusive of Laurel Place, but it encompasses the whole area to study the traffic patterns in that whole area have been included.
Yep.
The RFPs have been submitted. The subcommittees are reviewing those RFPs, and we hope that this council meeting will come back with a recommendation of a firm to appoint to move forward.
Yeah,
with
there's
this
been
study.
three, I think, for three proposals.
3 proposals.
9 were taken out or so, roughly. 3 were submitted to have to be reviewed by ourselves, and probably Montclair as well.
Montclair, yes.
The deadline was August 28th, and so the planning board hasn't actually met yet because of the holiday.
So on Wednesday,
Wednesday will be the first meeting that they've had, and there was actually a separate site plan subcommittee that was established to review the 3 proposals. So there hasn't actually been a recommendation yet to accept one, and that traffic evaluation is part of that study as well.
okay, so
It's not quite.
no
there yet.
questions pertaining to this traffic engineer are appropriate at this time until someone is
We don't
clearly
have
appointed.
one yet.
Did.
We don't
Okay.
have one yet.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sure, thanks for coming. Anthony, how are you doing? Rose? Hi, come on up. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
It's
How
been a
is
while.
everybody?
How's everything?
I know everything's been pretty good. I mean, it's been,
good.
I shouldn't say pretty good, it's been tolerable.
Tolerable,
So
okay.
we have a few other
But
issues
everything's
right
good at
now.
home? You guys feel good?
Pardon me?
You guys are good?
Oh, yeah, we're good, thank
Okay,
you.
okay.
Like I was saying, during the summer, there were cars that were parked in the lot, you know, not the lot, the shit, like Smashburger and everything. And there was a little bit of noise, but like 15, 20 minutes went away. Now, when I call the police up, I don't call them when I first hear the noise in 5 minutes.
Right.
I wait maybe half hour, give them the benefit of the doubt. You know, they're there. But when they're there over an hour, at 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning, there's something wrong again. Now, I was under the impression that, Sheila, you don't mind if I call her Sheila, because I knew her when we were kids went to school.
It's not up to me, it's up to the chief. Chief, are you okay with
I
that?
know her 100 years, I feel,
Okay.
I still call her Sheila. I still call her by her maiden name, too. What was I going to say? I was under the impression when I spoke to you last time, that anything was at Smashburgers, that was Glenridge, and the police should give them a fine. Remember the time they were on the roof, and they were picking up all the tar and all this other stuff early in the morning, and you said it. Now, I think what's going on is every time Smashburger gets another supervisor, because they probably change them like they change you anywhere, I'm sure that they don't stay there too long. I think that they're not, I don't think this goes through to telling them that they can't have all these deliveries. I did get police reports from Betty. Now, it bothers me that when I call the police up in the morning, I have whatever paper I see, like so this little piece that's on mine, I put the date, the time they go, and all this other stuff. Because I'm not remember when I wake up again if I go back to sleep. But there's one, I have them all here. Like when I called, let's see. What do I have it on? see any of my papers. If I ask my papers up, okay. I have a few here. I don't know, I have to just see what I did here. Sorry. I lost my clip on the way out. There was one on 8/11. The truck came around 4 o'clock. And I didn't call right away, thinking they were leaving 15 minutes, but they left at 5:20. Now, the police report says they left at 5 o'clock, but I was up because I couldn't sleep, so it was 5:20. Every time on August 13th, that was the police said that they left at 2:25. Now, in this one, but I also called the police on the complaint arriving at they came at 1:10 in the morning, and I went to bed 12 o'clock that night, and they left at 2:28. I called the police twice to see, I called after a half hour to see what happened, and they told me, they said they were going to leave. The truck was going to leave. But the truck shouldn't be there.
Right.
So I don't understand how that could happen. And then, that's what I'm saying about that there. And then there was another one, which really, this one that, was the first one here. Yeah, this one. Then there was another one on 6/16, and that was 6 a.m. in the morning, and they said they left at 7 to 4. They said they left at 7 o'clock on that one. You know what bothers me the most on this? On the 8/13 one, I called. And when I talked to Betty, she's really good. She knows me now because I get all the reports. And I asked her when she has a chance to do it. And my name isn't on this report. It's there are other people, but there's people that just don't call.
Yep.
And this person, I don't know who he is, George Buncher. He was at 100 Greenwich Avenue. And he called the same time that I on my slip that I called. But my report is not on this report. I have no idea why. If you just get one, you don't fill another person's name on it?
No, every noise complaint is cast stamped, time, dated.
Because I did call. It's like I said, I have little papers. Any piece of paper I can find without going, looking, open the lights and, in the kitchen. I do. So I don't know what's going on, but I did make copies of this, and I would appreciate if you would see what's.
If I might
what the
interrupt,
story is.
if I might interrupt for just a second. Chief, could we get a copy of the Glen Ridge noise ordinance? Could we make sure that it applies to Smashburger? Could we drop that off? Could you take that over to Smashburger, speak to the manager, and ask them to post it? Maybe that would be some way to because I think what does happen is I think that we reach out to the new manager. The manager's there for a while. Any changes, the new guy comes in, and then or woman, and then they don't. So maybe if we could give them a written copy of our noise ordinance, and you could just have a conversation with them, tell them that they're becoming a nuisance.
It's sort of repetitious, like at night. Now in the winter, in the summer, the kids that are there, they have their break 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, and they stand by the back. You get them giggling and blah, 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 you know what I mean? They're not loud. You can stay there and talk a normal way, but they don't. They yell at one another.
Other kids. I mean, kids are
I
loud.
know, I know. But
Kids
they're
are
not
loud.
like, we go in, we don't yell when we're walking in the house. And I
No,
don't
I
yell
know.
out the door. If you came in and yell at him, he's by the garage. Hey, what are you doing there? I wouldn't do that. And it's not, it's not proper. It's for other people. But I think, too, people are just, so there are people on the apartments that are having the same problem, but some of them just are lacking and they don't want to call.
We'll reach out. We'll talk.
Pardon me?
We'll reach out. We'll talk to the.
Okay, I'm going to give you I messed up here. I'm going to give you a copy of the ones the reports I have, and you don't have to look them up again, okay?
Okay.
I would appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that okay. Councilman Patrick, you're up.
Thank you, Mayor. Before I begin, Michael or Tara, is there a resolution that's been canceled for 111-15 for this evening?
For refunds?
Yeah. I was given a resolution, but it's not on the agenda, so should I just pass it or just?
I've got it here.
Yeah, I've got it too, but
110 and
it's not on the agenda, so I don't know whether I should read it.
You probably just have an older agenda. Here's the agenda that I have. You got this one off the internet. Use this one. Here, use this one. Use that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got this right off the door.
Right.
Okay. Now, I think I can begin.
Okay.
Mayor, the Finance and Administration Committee has no formal report this evening, but we do have resolution number 110-15.
Okay.
Be it resolved that the following claims be approved and warrants be drawn for the same. We have a current fund of $8,068,235. The bulk of that are two monthly payments to the Board of Education totaling $4.3 million. And we have taxes to the county totaling something over $1.9 million. And that makes up the bulk of that. And be it resolved that the Chief Financial Officer, Treasurer of the Borough of Glen Ridge is hereby authorized to issue the payroll for the employees of the Borough of Glen Ridge for the pay date of September 15, 2015. I move the resolution.
Heard the resolution, may I get a second? Thank you, Art. Comments? Will the clerk call the roll?
Councilperson Lefkowitz?
Aye.
Patrick?
Aye.
Dawson?
Aye.
Murphy?
Aye.
Morrow?
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays, the motion is carried.
Thank you.
I now have resolution number 111-15. Be it resolved by the Council of the Borough of Glen Ridge, Essex County, New Jersey, that warrants be drawn to the below-listed individuals and mortgage processing service in designated amounts representing overpayment of tax. The amount is $5,340.27. And be it further resolved that the individuals and mortgage processing service listed above have advised that they want a refund rather than applying these payments to their taxes. I move the resolution.
Okay, heard the resolution, may I get a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, David. Comments? Call the roll, please.
Councilperson Lefkowitz?
Aye.
Patrick?
Aye.
Dawson?
Aye.
Murphy?
Aye.
Morrow?
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays, the motion is carried.
Great.
Mayor, that completes the report of the Finance Administration Committee.
Right.
I now have the Public Safety Committee, which has no formal report this evening, but we do have an ordinance for second reading.
Right.
This is an ordinance establishing titles for employees of the Borough of Glen Ridge, fixing the 2015 maximum salaries and other compensation for those titles.
So, Mr. Mayor, this is to state for the record that this ordinance has been published and posted in accordance with the statute.
Great. I declare the meeting open for discussion of this ordinance, and only this ordinance, this being the time and place for a public hearing. Any members of the public who care to speak about this? I would think not. I declare the public hearing closed.
Mr. Mayor, I move this ordinance be finally passed.
Thank you, Stuart. Can I get a second? Art?
I'll second that.
Okay, you've heard the motion by Councilman Patrick, seconded by Councilperson Dawson. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilperson Lefkowitz?
Aye.
Patrick?
Aye.
Dawson?
Aye.
Murphy?
Aye.
Morrow?
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays, the ordinance is passed on final reading.
Great.
That completes the remarks of public safety.
Thank you, Stuart. David?
I have no report this evening.
Councilperson Dawson?
I don't have much to report on. I had a complaint that was sent to me by email about Starbucks housekeeping at the back of their building. Their trash is apparently not as well controlled as it might be according to the plan. So I forwarded that to the Public Works group. Yeah, so they'll take a look at it. The activities during this past week is Stanzial Construction will start the final phase of reconstruction of Essex Avenue this week. Milling will begin Thursday. Milling should take 2 days. 1 day will be necessary for raising the manholes and final paving preparation. Weather permitting, paving should begin Tuesday. We ask that residents obey the no parking signs when posted in your area. No roadway striping will be performed until a traffic speed count has been conducted and public safety and community input is gathered. We had people come to the last meeting and were questioning whether it was necessary to strike a double line. So that'll be determined by the traffic study.
Right.
As a pilot project, the Public Works crew rented a truck crack sealing machine. This is like a trailer that's self-contained and towed behind one of our trucks. And it has a wand that delivers a mastic material that can be used to seal cracks in the roadway. And particularly where the wider roads where you have two different passes laid out of the asphalt, down the middle, a crack will can develop. So by sealing this with this mastic, it'll preclude water getting down in there in the wintertime and probably breaking it up over time. So the next 5 days were spent, after we had a day's training with the vendor, the next 5 days were spent sealing cracks in the roadway throughout the borough. Approximately 5,000 pounds of material was used. Additionally, about 6 tons of asphalt was laid while repairing potholes. And the crosswalks, yellow curbs, and roadway striping were repainted throughout much of the borough. It's hard to believe, but we're already thinking about winter. The mechanics are going through the fleet and renewing our snow equipment. So everything's hopefully going to be ready that we won't need for a while yet.
I don't want to talk about winter.
But, yeah, we'll have the leaves and stuff starting to come down. Our leaf collecting equipment's in good shape, and we'll just keep after stuff. So, it's pretty much what we've been up to, and we didn't have any flooding or tree damage during this rain that we just had this past weekend, and could partially attribute that to keeping an eye on the trees and making sure that the catch basins are timely clean. So we're in pretty good shape that way.
Great. Thank you, Art.
That concludes our report.
Councilman Dawson, if you could, I noticed quite a few potholes, especially in front of councilperson's house. But on Washington Street, my only concern, it's not about the cars, it's about the runners on Thanksgiving morning. So if you could have the police department take a look into it.
Actually, do have one, but I don't want to
It's pretty nasty.
show any favoritism, so.
We'll drop off some asphalt and a shovel.
Or you could have your neighbor do it if you have a lot of asphalt.
That's true, that's true.
But thank
So it's the Washington Street.
Washington Street between Hawthorne and
304.
That's a county road, of course. That's going to be the response from our public works people. But maybe we could override that and get that built for the asphalt.
or maybe grab a shovel or two from the project on
Washington and Hawthorne.
Oh, on Essex.
Oh, on Essex.
yeah.
They won't miss a couple shovels, so we'll,
Could make a little detour.
That's all.
Councilor Murphy, any report from Parks and Rec?
Parks and Rec, yes. I met with Jim Cowan this morning, and it turns out that George Washington Field, as we suspected, is having a very positive effect on the other fields in town, meaning that the more Washington Field gets used, the less the other fields get used, the grass fields get used. And subsequently, they look better, and they are doing much better. And it's kind of a wait and see, but we do plan, and we will be expanding the playing field at Carteret, and that project will take place at the end of the spring season 2016. But we're very excited about the George Washington Field, and we're getting really, really good reports from the folks that do have games there. And as a matter of fact, it's my understanding that the girls' field hockey team played during the rainstorm. At least the first half of the game was during the rainstorm. Otherwise, they would not have been able to play. And we ended up with I guess it was our first win in 10 years over Rempey.
Wow.
Girls' field hockey. So
That was all to do with the field.
it has everything to do with the field.
Everything.
Well, they're playing. They're able to practice.
Yeah.
And they're able to get a much quality practice.
You know what'll really be interesting at the end of this season, if we could get a sense of what we spent or didn't spend on maintenance expense on the fields and begin to compare that aspect of it as well. We know the playability's a lot better. We know that the utility's a lot better because we're putting a lot more activity on that field. And then I wonder if we'll get the third leg of that stool, which would be lower expenses on, say Carteret Forest.
Yeah.
And Ralph, that would really be telling, wouldn't it?
It really will, and it's, we're fortunate to be able to have that field, thankfully.
Yeah.
And we were there for the ribbon cutting earlier last month, and everybody was remarking how this cork layer, cork flow inlay that sits atop the field really keeps things nice and cool, and the quality, it's a little bit spongy. year gives a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I guess in terms of injuries, it will be better on the athlete's
It
legs.
seems softer when you walk it. It's
Yeah.
interesting. The other thing that's interesting is there seems to be a certain amount of static electricity associated with crumb rubber and maybe the fiber
Yeah,
as it
probably.
interacts,
Do that.
okay? And it sort of clings to the athletes, where there seems to be less of that takes place with the crumb rubber. I'm hearing that anecdotally, which is, I think, a benefit. You know, I don't want people going home with crumb rubber on their legs, you know.
I had reservations about the court floating up, heavy rains and
We
bear.
haven't seen it. Yeah, we haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It floats, but it settles right back
Yeah.
to where it was. So it's not a problem.
How about the performance of the Bulls on that surface? Are they approximately what they were on
No complaints
on,
whatsoever.
natural grass?
Oh, it's better than natural grass.
Close to town.
You don't have the nobles from the divots in the grass.
But the bouncing and everything is...
We haven't heard, I mean, all I heard anecdotally was that the women's field hockey team went from one of the worst fields in the county to maybe the best field in the county.
Mhm.
So it's a nice success story for us.
And that's a game that needs to be played on synthetic turf, not on grass.
Yep.
I think that was one of the concerns, was that the performance of the balls on that particular surface versus other surface.
Hasn't come
It's
up.
good to hear that it's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And Mr. Mayor, that concludes my report for this evening.
Thank you, Dan. Anne Marie?
Just briefly, I guess to follow up on Mr. Zacchelli's remarks, the planning board is meeting this Wednesday at 8 p.m. They did not meet in August, and there were three RFPs received from consultants. The deadline was August 28th, so they have not met either as a group or as the site committee, subcommittee, to review the proposals yet. And I believe that will happen either before the meeting or sometime after Wednesday's meeting. And that's all I have.
Great. Okay. Let's see. Comments of the administrator? No comments tonight? Okay. Comments of the assistant administrator?
Just to further with George Washington, we're slowly making improvements as the field is being used. Today, we began the installation of a driveway on the area between Minnie Lucy and the field. That's where it gets very wet and the restrooms are. So we started today installing the gravel bed. There'll be paved in that area with a walkway to the first set of bleachers. So when the truck pulls in and out to service the restrooms, it's not damaging the grass and creating ruts.
Yeah.
Flooding areas, and secondly, so users of the field that are people fans of the game can walk to the first set of.
And what about on Baldwin Street, that entrance up by Minnie Lucy? That area is pretty hard packed right there. We can't seem to grow grass. Is that where you're putting the driveway in?
In that first area, then once we have one more task to run, then when we do that, we're going to top dress and seed that whole
You're
area.
gonna seed it, you're gonna pave it?
No, that'll be grass.
Really?
That's just been driven over and over again by
Yeah.
people servicing the fields, so the
Okay.
grass doesn't have time to paved, so that'll just be grass.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
That's it, thank you.
That's it. John, no comment? Chief?
Mr. Mayor, just to remind everybody that obviously the month of September, back to school.
Right.
We've been doing a nice job with all the schools. Just always want to remind the parents that are dropping off or picking up their children to use the drop-off zones. We're concentrating most of our efforts right now in the middle school, where we have the highest volume and at the busiest intersection. But we're moving around to all the schools, and juvenile officers will be speaking to the parents on back to school night and the children during the month after school for some walking and being dropped off at school safety tips.
Great. Okay, back to business as usual.
That's right.
Okay. Comments of the public? Final thoughts?
I have one question.
Come on up, please. Yeah.
My name's Dan Pereira, I live at 5 Laurel Place. You were talking about the sealing of the cracks in the roadway.
Yeah.
And there is a pothole actually at the top of Laurel Place that's been developing, so I don't know. I know they did the cracks on Glen Avenue, but our street was resurfaced about 10 years ago maybe, when they put in, they got rid of the old, what do they call those, the old gutters, the stone ones? Right. Yeah, canyons. Anyway, but there is a seam that runs down the street, and it is starting to open up, so I didn't know if they were going to take care of that or not, but since you...
The crack sealing, this was just our first run at it.
Oh, okay.
It's our Saturday, if we're pleased with how the product works and that.
Yeah, how'd it go? Are you happy with it?
Our application went well.
Yeah, up on Glen Ridge, it looks
If
good.
it holds up, it'll be great.
Yeah.
If it stays in the cracks, we're gonna keep going. But we tried some heavily traveled streets and kind of selected different levels of traffic and different levels of crack. To kind of review after a year's time how it wears and holds and where our money's best spent next time.
Would you put Dan's spot on Laurel?
We passed right by it on Highland.
Yeah, and I just noticed it, and because my driveway's a disaster because I didn't seal the cracks, and now it's like the surface of the moon, so I have to replace it, so.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Dan, appreciate it. Okay, so any new or unfinished business? No? Art, get a motion, please.
Yeah, there being no further business, I'd like to move that the meeting be adjourned.
I get a second? I'll second. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Meeting's adjourned, thank you.